I've been pretty negative in my last couple videos, I'm not gonna lie to you. To be honest, I low-key think we're in a dark age of anime games, and I realize I need some good anime games in my life before I turn into the black version of Synthetic Man.
Full of quote-unquote elites, little nuggets of wokeness, like Paya now having a giant brown boyfriend who looks like a Giga Chad in comparison to Link,
I know it's
despite
her
the fact
job
she
to
was
help this guy
thirsting
and
for
everything,
his
but I think
dick
this
in the
guy's a
last
lost
one.
cause.
Not to mention the
He's obviously made up his
quote-unquote
mind.
subtle
Why don't we just cut our
homosexual
losses and get
imagery
out of
from
here?
Breath of the Wild has been expanded even.
So, going through my old games, I came across this gem, one of the most underrated anime games of all times. Those that know, I'm talking about Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle for the PlayStation 4. I swear I didn't realize what I had when this game came out. Don't get me wrong, this game definitely has its flaws, but in terms of fan service anime game, this is a masterpiece, and I'm slowly coming to realize that. Am I the only one wondering where all the Attack on Titan video games are? Like, one of the most popular animes of the decade, and you're telling me we can't get a new game? Koei Tecmo, at least release some Season 4 DLC. I'm begging you, Bandai, quit being cheap and let them use the license for the anime OSTs, and then this is 11 out of 10. Combat is just so unique, it's unlike anything I've ever played. The way I could describe it most is like Spider-Man on the PlayStation mixed with Dynasty Warriors on drugs. In the most basic way I can explain, combat's focused around swinging around like Spider-Man, cutting napes and limbs of titans in massive arenas. And not that we really have anything to compare it to besides Roblox games, but I've never felt so immersed in the Attack on Titan world, which is crazy to think I would want to be immersed in this world, but you know what I mean. Getting completely swamped and overwhelmed with titans on screen is a crazy feeling that I don't wish on any man. It's kind of sad but hilarious at the same time. And you'd be surprised by the amount of titans that can be on screen, as well as all the destruction from buildings that can happen. It's really immersive. And I will not lie, the learning curve is high. You definitely need to mess around in the settings. The slow-mo turn off is a must, because that was the difference between me 100%ing this game and just turning it off for good. As you get good, you also upgrade your character like an RPG, getting stronger, faster, being able to cut different ways. And not only that, but there's all sorts of gear and different types of ODM gear, like lightning blades, flame swords, jetpack, ODM gear, like, as well as your own character gets its own upgrades. Like, as you get more skillful at the game, you simultaneously get more abilities. It's a long ass grind, but eventually you're able to like Levi spin and do more aggressive like nape cutting styles. I really don't know what to call it. It's low-key creative, especially considering I had no expectations going into the game. But however, a major flaw that I cannot lie about is the upgrading system, mainly the equipment system, is like really confusing. It's like the most confusing system I've ever experienced in any video game. I'm not even over exaggerating. Like, it deserves its own video. It's like that bad, but I digress. One thing that makes me happy as a fan of these types of anime games is how they portray the anime in the video game form. And to make more sense of that, basically how they choose to adapt anime powers into like video game mechanics, because with the right gaming company and the right anime, it's like a no-brainer that leads to just some crazy unique gameplay. And the best thing about Attack on Titan is they can't turn this into a arena fighter. Well, at least I don't think they can that easily. So I just wanted to point that out. Like, I really appreciate that. It's a random thought. One thing that will probably put people off from this game is not only is there like a high skill curve, as I mentioned, but the controls are just awful, like god awful. I understand it's extremely hard to implement a smooth ODM gear system into like a video game, but I'm pretty sure Fortnite did it better. Fortnite be making anime games better than anime games. Like, somebody needs to hire them. But that's a different topic. Most controls, like when they finally click though, it feels insane. The controls, look, I don't want to talk about controls. That's boring. Let's talk about story, which is also kind of boring. I mean, let's be honest, we are not playing this game for the story, and if you are, I highly recommend you just stick with the anime or the manga. It's unique in that the story is told from the perspective of a random ass scout, which is you. You're that random ass scout, so that's a nice change, but ultimately not a definitive way you should be experiencing this story. you're doing a disservice to yourself. The cutscenes are fine. Graphics are definitely dated. The art style's there. They're trying to imitate that wit color palette, and I respect it. But you're gonna be grinding this game trying to platform or S rank it anyway, so it's just like you're gonna skip it. Did I mention that this game has a ton of extra modes, including all of which that can be done online with up to 3 of your homies? That includes the story. What anime game is doing it like this these days? Also, you get customization for your random scout character, and the customization isn't revolutionary, but it's not bad either. You can rock any color you want, though. I don't know why you would disrespect the scouts like that. You can even wear that thing that Levi wears around his neck. Is that like an ascot? I don't know. Though there's no black hairstyles, I'm sorry to inform you. But come to think of it, I don't even know if black people are like behind the walls, so that's a sad realization when your existence isn't canon in the game. But it's okay, my nigga. Like, we're gonna make this Levi ass bowl cut work. Since only killing Titans as a main gameplay loop would probably be repetitive really quickly, half the story takes place behind the walls in this like slice of life interaction mode, which is surprisingly wholesome. You can like progress different parts of the map, open it up, end up doing favors for the cast and getting to know them and stuff. I mean, I've never played Persona before, but like this is Persona at home, right? There's lots of goofy Easter eggs that like directly quote the anime or relate to the anime.
今ここでああやるぞベルトルトやっぱむしゃくしゃした時にはこうするのが一番だな
Sasha will ask you to kill Titans in exchange for meat. There's funny Coney and Sasha like emote stances, a lot of stuff that directly comes from the anime, like to the T. The characters will ask you questions and stuff, and those questions essentially are quizzes on how well you know the character, either throughout the story or just anime in general. And the friendship will like raise their effectiveness in battle. Like, normally I'm not for this slice of life stuff, but after season 4 trauma, like I'm here for it. That's another point I want to make. For how low budget these anime games are, you can just feel like they put more effort into them, a little bit more money and just a little more experience. It's just, as the years have gone by, I've noticed the decline in just effort in these games, and as a consumer, makes me sad but happy at the same time as I play this game. Another huge flaw, and I saved the best for last, is this game is ridiculously expensive. Like, I have no idea why it's priced like that. This game is like how old is this game? They want to nickel and dime the most hardcore Attack on Titan fans, and they justify it just because they add some Thunder Spear DLC, some Gun DLC, Kenny DLC. When I saw that price, I started yelling like Levi. Kenny! Yeah, so maybe just they never made that many discs, but digital purchases are a thing, so there's no real justification for the price tag. And I will not lie to you, the game feels incomplete if it's not this version. Bandai really did this game dirty. No advertisements, another amazing anime IP with a subpar gaming history, kind of like Berserk. It's only right, isn't it? The combat system is too good to be this underutilized, and it will become a fossil of its time. Truly sad for such peak gameplay. They just need to make it simpler for casuals, and who doesn't want to swing around in the Scout Regiment? Are you crazy, Bandai? Revive this IP. Another reason this game did not do well is because Bandai low-key released the same game twice. The first game of Attack on Titan they released was basically this game, except all around shittier. The game is basically an updated version of that game, and Bandai has a poor habit of releasing the same game twice. So basically this got the Xenoverse 1 to Xenoverse 2 treatment. And if you think about it, who is really talking about Xenoverse 1? Like, people don't even remember that game exists. So yeah, community basically looked down on this game when they saw it, said, it's like the same way they saw Storm Connections. They said, I don't want to buy the same game twice. But low-key, those of us who skipped the first one and bought this one were like, God damn, this shit fire. So yeah, just poor marketing decisions led to this game just flopping when it was so fun, and Bandai never put effort into anything ever again. Sad times. If only we existed in a different timeline where they released this game first and they actually made a Shinobi Striker 2. Peace.